Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jake from TodaysiPhone.com. My bedroom is currently filled with boxes and suitcases and unpacked things, so I'm filming here today. But anyway, you don't care about that. Let's get started. Here are this week's biggest stories. Okay, now the first thing I want to tell you guys about is Sundance, and this is the internal Apple codename for iOS 6. And we got some pretty cool details about what iOS 6 is going to bring us. The first one is third-party APIs for Siri, so that Apple's going to open up Siri to third-party developers. You'll be able to, Siri, tweet this, or Siri, set this as my Facebook status. And, you know, that's something that people have been wanting for a long time, and it's definitely something that's like a glaring omission from Siri's abilities. So hopefully this really does pan out, because it'd be a great addition to Siri, and it'd really take her from like a sort of novelty thing to a truly useful digital assistant. And there's also rumors that Siri could be coming to the iPad, which would be excellent. I'm not really sure why Apple just decided to stick with the dictation form of Siri for the new iPad and not full Siri. So that would also be very cool. And then, of course, the third rumored feature for iOS 6 is Apple's own internally built 3D maps. We're going to replace the Google Maps service on iOS phones, which probably won't change that much in the way of, you know, end user experience, but it will be big in the whole Google versus Apple thing. Between Android and iOS, Google really had a monopoly on the mobile operating system maps, but, you know, if this changes, then Google's going to lose a lot of their market share there, and it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Alright, moving on, there were a lot of release date rumors this week. First, we had a story coming out of DigiTimes that claimed that the new iPhone would launch in September, and a smaller iPad would launch in August. But that story didn't seem very legitimate, especially because it also claimed that a new 10-inch iPad would be launching in the fourth quarter of 2012. Which is just not going to happen. Apple just released the new iPad. There's no way they're going to release a new 10-inch version to compete with the new iPad that's already out there. And, you know, I'm still kind of hesitant to believe the whole 7.85-inch iPad thing. I don't think it's going to happen. It seems like a lot of people are starting to believe that, and it seems like there are more stories about it, but I'm still kind of skeptical. But, of course, with Apple rumors, you can't just have one agreed-upon release date or design or anything like that. You gotta have basically every day of the year covered, so you're always expecting an awesome new product that most likely will not come on that day. So we also have a rumor coming out of imore.com claiming that Apple will launch the new iPhone in October of this year. It will have LTE support, and they haven't really decided on a design for the device yet. You know, they're still floating around with the prototypes. One thing to note is that according to this report, the iPhone screen, if it is increased in size at all, it will only be up to like 4 inches, nothing past that, and it's not going to change the aspect ratio, because then Apple would have to change all of the applications and all of that stuff that really just it is not feasible to do. Funnily enough, iMore is also reporting that Apple is working on a smaller iPad, but they go one step further and claim that it's going to be $200, which will be very competitively priced to take out the Amazon Kindle Fire, you know, if it happens. Now, we also got some information this week on the much hyped about Apple TV. Tacked onto the end of a Foxconn report about like a shift in distribution or something. Foxconn boss Terry Gao said some very interesting things about the Apple TV, claiming that the company was currently in preparations for production, and that the TV is going to have an aluminum construction with Siri and FaceTime. Now, this is very cool stuff, especially coming from such a significant and high-placed source. It does seem pretty likely that Apple is working on an Apple TV now. The only thing that we don't know is you know, when we're gonna get it. Alright, well that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Before I go, I want to leave you with a question of the day, and that is, which application do you think would most benefit from access to a Siri API? You know, would it be Facebook or Twitter? Would it be a game? Would it be, you know, a photo editing application? Anything. I want to hear which app on your device you want to be able to tell Siri to access. So you can let me know in the comment section down below, or hit me up on Twitter at TIP_Jake. And as always, the links to everything I talked about in this video are in the description down below. And don't forget, for more news, views, and reviews, definitely check out TodaysiPhone.com.